You had fun.
Just across the city, it's like Saturday. Sounds like it's smoke. It's at the couple. Are we good?
Yes, sir, you're ready to go. I go and try to get rid of it. Okay, just want to.
All right, call this meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. on the 6th. Start with invocation and pledge by Pastor Dyke, Church Assembly of God.
Agree with me. Father, we come before you tonight and say thank you for the opportunity to live in this city. Pray that you'll bless this council today and all the decisions that must be made for the welfare and the blessing of this community. We thank you for your faithfulness, for covering us, and for a good meeting tonight. In your name, Pastor. Amen.
Right behind you, sir.
Join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Item 4, agenda changes. We have none. Item 5, mayoral report. Just a few things. With the nice weather outside, last couple of days, get you thinking about spring and all the really amazing activities we have in planned for the spring this next several weeks. First, the Jonquil Talk is Saturday, April 15th. This year it's benefiting Support Smyrna and of course the Campbell High School Education Foundation. So come on out. It's a great 5K. A lot of volunteers come out to support, including the JROTC from Campbell High School. On Monday, April 17th, Smyrna Public Safety Foundation golf outing at Brookstone Country Club. Again, it's another great fundraiser for a very effective organization here in the city supporting our public safety folks. More information, look at smyrnapsf.org. Monday, April 24th is the Campbell High School Educational Foundation golf outing at Royal and Ancient Fox Creek Golf Course, benefiting the foundation and the Career and College Counseling Office at the high school. And finally, tomorrow morning, we have a speaker series as part of the Racial Trust Building Initiative. The speaker is Dr. David Anderson, tomorrow morning right here in the meeting center at 7:30. That is it for the mayoral report. Oh, most importantly, sorry. Mayor Norton is, he would be here with us tonight. His crossover down at the Capitol. Very busy night, perhaps the busiest night of the year. Unfortunately cannot join us, but he passes along his best wishes, of course. Item 6, community development. No items. Item 7, privilege license and show cause hearing. No items. On to formal business. Item 8A. CON 2023-006. Approve the contract with Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration to conduct City of Smyrna November 7th, 2023 municipal election. Estimated amount of $83,170.90. Any runoff December 2023. Authorize the mayor to sign and execute any associated documents.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. The city agrees to contract and pay to the county for the service of its Board of Elections and Registration to conduct the Smyrna City General Election on November 5th, 2023. All actual costs incurred in conducting said election. Said costs to include without limitation, cost of publication, use of election equipment, cost of printing sample, absentee, provisional, and duplicator ballots, area supervisor salaries, election night personnel compensation, absentee voting staff salaries, advanced voting space and staff salaries, costs of training and compensation for poll workers, and election night result report. Where applicable, costs will be computed based on the number of precincts served. The contract estimate for the municipal election is $83,170.90. This estimate does not include the subsequent runoff amount, which it does, correct?
Yes.
That amount, it does include the subsequent runoff amount. Staff recommends approval of the contract with copies of the board.
Can I have a motion to approve item 8A?
Make a motion to approve item 8A, CON 2023-006 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Welch. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Wheaton. Please vote. All in favor? Online?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Item 8B, AGR 2023-008, approval of the contract for guaranteed maximum pricing to the city of Smyrna and Winter Construction Company, 5616 Peachtree Road, Suite 100, Atlanta, Georgia, 30341, for the Village Green Park in the amount of $1,448,000. The concept as previously discussed with Mayor and Council. Bennett, background.
Thank you, Mr. Gould. This contract will specify the guaranteed maximum pricing, also known as the GMP, in the amount of $1,448,614. The concept is previously discussed with Mayor and Council for the Village Green Park. The new park will be situated in the area that is presently vacant adjacent to Village Green Circle between Atlanta Road and King Street, north of the proposed brewery site. The design includes flexible lawn space, playground, and stage structure, as well as hardscape improvements and gathering areas. The park improvements will coincide with green space construction currently being constructed by Winter Construction Company. Staff recommends approval of the contract for the guaranteed maximum price between the city of Smyrna and Winter Construction.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. This is in Ward 3, and pass it to Councilmember Lindley.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Motion do pass as presented.
Yeah, do we have a second? Second, motion by Mr. Lindley, second by Mr. Pickens. Discussion?
Well, I just want to clarify the location because I think I heard you, Mr. Bennett say, monthly. Side of the room, south.
North of Village Green and the corner of Village Green and King Street.
Another question, is this, I thought we had voted on the contract for them. Is this an amendment?
No, sir, this is the guaranteed maximum price contract. We approved the concept
Okay,
with Winter. Go ahead, Mr. Randall.
There was an earlier contract that was approved for getting the design professional for Winter Construction underway with this as a CMAR, and that dollar value is included in this 1.44.
okay. And at that time, was it what type of contract was it?
I believe it was considered the same as a CMAR, recognizing that we could get some economy of scale by hiring the same contractor who's working downtown to do this park project.
So this really is an amendment to the original contract.
This is a separate contract agreement. Yes. But it went in as a line item. They could not develop a guaranteed maximum price going into it blind. This was enough to get the design professional starting and fleshing out the design so that they could develop the they could develop the GMP.
Okay. So I'm not sure what I'm going through.
I can't guarantee it. Sorry.
I can't either.
Any other questions I can answer?
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Please, all in favor? Travis and Latonia?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes 4-2. With Councilmember Wilkinson and Councilmember Welch in opposition. Item 8C, AGR 2023-009, approval of the proposed agreement with Croy Engineering, 200 Cobb Parkway North, Building 400, Suite 14, Marietta, Georgia, 30062, for professional services for site exploration and pre-design phase of the downtown parking deck in the amount of $95,000 for the tasks as outlined in the attached proposal, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, please.
Thank you, Mr. Gould. The first item, the parking deck, is the scope of work provided by the pre-design and RFQ phase for the downtown parking deck will be for Croy Engineering and its sub-consultants to provide surveying, geotechnical, civil engineering, architectural, and landscape architectural services for the progression of the proposed parking deck design located on the property owned by the city across Powder Spring Street from the Smyrna Community Center. In addition to the development of the deck design, the project team will coordinate and draft the RFQ, soliciting contractors' responses for the proposed CMAR project. Invoicing will be progressive and will be submitted monthly for work completed to date, less previous payments. This proposal incorporates, as if fully set forth herein, the terms and conditions of the professional services agreement for Smyrna 2022 SPLOST Program Management Services dated June 7th, 2021, between Croy Engineering LLC and the city of Smyrna.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Just one comment on this. We had 3 items in a row, and just to clarify a couple of questions that come up, that these are all SPLOST projects. Croy Engineering is our administrator for the SPLOST. As Mr. Bennett said, that was decided back in 2021. And the reason these are on the agenda today is because of the total dollar amount of the projects. So these are not, it's not a new contract with Croy Engineering. It's part of the 2022 SPLOST administration project. There'll be more future projects because that runs through 2027. I guess maybe we should get a motion first. Mr. Lindley, to handle this item, please.
Yes, sir. Motion do pass is presented. I do want to say we talked about it in the committee of the whole. I know there's three items here on the subject. When we get to a place, it's our understanding that we will have options on what the structure looks like and take some public comment and feedback on that. But again, motion do pass is presented.
Second. Second by Mr. Wheaton. Discussion?
Well, I just wanted to clarify, so it's really all one project. It's the parking deck, which is one line item on the slide.
Correct.
But it's 3 different parts of that.
This is 3 phases of pre-construction work.
Okay,
Right. The exploration, site exploration, pre-design, the final design phase, construction, and then permitting and construction administration. Any more discussion? Good. All in favor? Mr. Lindley and the signs?
Yes.
Ms. Hines?
Oh, you didn't hear me. I'm sorry. Aye. Yes.
Okay. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. 6-0. Thank you. Wow. You're on it. Jeez. I would have voted for it. All right. Item 8D, HGR 2023-010, approval of the proposed agreement with Croy Engineering, 200 Cobb Parkway North, Building 400, Suite 413, Marietta, Georgia, 30062, for professional service for final design phase and construction documents, the downtown parking deck, the amount of $114,500 for tasks as outlined in the attached proposal, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett.
Thank you again, Mr. Gould. This is the second project, pre-construction of the parking deck. The scope of work provided by the design phase for the downtown parking deck will be for Croy Engineering and its subconsultants to provide civil engineering, architectural, and landscape architectural services for the design and construction of a proposed parking deck located on the property owned by the city across Powder Spring Street from the community center. Invoicing will be progressive and will be submitted monthly for work completed to date, less previous payments. This proposal incorporates, as if fully set forth herein, the terms and conditions of the professional services agreement for Smyrna 2022 SPLOST Program Management Services. It was dated June 7th, 2021, between Croy Engineering LLC and the city of Smyrna.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Mr. Lindley?
Thank you. Motion do pass as presented.
I have a second.
Second.
I'm sorry, Mr. Welch, please. Second by Mr. Welch. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6-0. All right, item 8E, HGR 2023-011, approval of the proposed agreement with Croy Engineering, 200 Cobb Parkway North, Building 400, Suite 413, Marietta, Georgia 30062, for professional services for permitting and construction administration phase of the downtown parking deck, the amount of $29,950 for tasks as outlined in the attached proposal. Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, sir. Again, this is a third part is for professional services for permitting and construction administration. Again, the scope of work will be for Croy Engineering and its subconsultants to provide permitting and construction phase support services for the design and construction of a proposed parking deck located on the property owned by the city across Powder Spring Street from the Smyrna Community Center. Invoicing will be progressive and will be submitted monthly for work completed to date, less previous payments. This proposal incorporates, as it fully set forth herein, the terms and conditions of the professional services agreement for Smyrna 2022 SPLOST Program Management Services dated June 7th, 2021, between Engineering LLC and the city of Smyrna.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Free also, Lindley?
Motion do pass as presented.
Motion, do a second? Second by Mr. Pickens. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. We have a public hearing, item 8F, RES 2023-006, public hearing. A public hearing to adopt resolution RES 2023-006, authorizing the use of red light running photo enforcement system at the intersection of State Route 280, South Cobb Drive, Cumberland Parkway, East-West Connector, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Gould. In July of 2019, the Georgia legislature passed Georgia Code 40-14-21 titled Traffic Control Signal Monitoring Devices with recorded images, civil monetary penalty, vehicle registration, and transfer of title restrictions for failure to pay penalty. This law provides municipalities the ability to use monitoring devices for red light enforcement by utilizing cameras in an attempt to increase life-saving safety value by the use of such a device at a designated intersection. The intent is to create changes in driving behavior at intersections with high incidents of traffic accidents and potential hazards due to repeated violations. From intelligence data collected at strategic intersections, firsthand accounts, and complaints from our community, it has been a longstanding concern that our largest traffic intersections need increased enforcement. Our citizens for years have raised concerns about the safety of our motoring public as it pertains to the hazardous driving behavior of some motorists in busy traffic intersections regulated by a traffic control signal. The City of Smyrna Police Department has both observed and worked enforcement at these intersections and have witnessed countless speed and traffic light violations, which have caused anywhere from minor traffic accidents to serious injury and fatality crashes. In an effort to bring a greater number of drivers into compliance with the traffic control signal regulations and to create a safer driving public, it became necessary to research technologies that are available to assist law enforcement in this endeavor. As a result of existing Georgia law, Georgia Code 40-14-21, which allows for the use of traffic control signal monitoring devices, our purchasing and police department chose Vera Mobility to install, service, and maintain traffic signal enforcement cameras in designated and strategic traffic intersections regulated by traffic control signals. This company was chosen as part of the HGAC-VUY Cooperative Purchasing Agreement, from which the city of Smyrna is a member. The anticipated cost for this service is zero, and it will be violator funded with revenue sharing of any collections. PD staff recommends adopting this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. This particular location, the east-west connector in South Cop Drive, borders Ward 6 and Ward 7. I'll ask Councilmember Wheaton to handle the applicants. Oh, I'm sorry, public hearing. Thank you very much. Does anybody here like to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, close the public hearing portion. Mr. Wheaton.
Yeah, so happy to motion read adopt resolution 2023-606.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Pickens. And any discussion?
I have a question. Now this might be a legal question. I thought South Cobb was governed by the state.
Yeah, we're applying, it's one of those things. So the state regulates curb cuts and things like that, but this is a situation where we're actually in conjunction with the state. We're filing an application with the state to get the, and this is part of that application process. So we have to get approval from the state to do this anyway.
Okay.
But then we run traffic enforcement.
Yeah, we do.
South,
Yeah.
East-West. And in that intersection, there's 3 corners is in the city and 1 corner is in the county. The bad corner.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The nice billboard.
The ball with
The one on the
billboard.
billboard, yeah, the one with the billboard, that's it.
Okay.
One comment on this, the mayor formed the traffic calming committee that has done great work, I think, in helping them, improve public safety and making our streets and roads, just safer for our residents. So in my mind, this is another work in that process. And we try it, and hopefully it achieves the goal that we want, right? But all our things we've done so far, we'll take a chance to reevaluate it in a year, and hopefully it's achieved our goal of improving the traffic safety at that intersection.
Will we have to reach the end here?
No, the resolution is just to show that we agree that the city has consented to putting this at this location.
And I think that it's definitely a thing that we need, knowing how traffic has been, and just making sure that we make sure that people and the citizens are aware that we are going to be having this enforcement going on. Make sure that they're aware of it, and that this, even if they were to get a ticket, it does not go on their driving history or give them any points. It is really about a traffic calming issue.
And thanks, Ms. Hines. To that point, Joe, what's the fine amount? $75. It's a civil fine, and I think for the first 30 days, right, there's a grace period, and I'm sure there'll be signage all around the intersection.
Correct. And Mayor Pro Tem Bill, I think it's also important to mention that the city is not in favor of charging the administrative fee that we could charge per law. So we're waiving the administrative fee for the purpose of the purpose of these 2 intersections and the cameras therein is to change driver behavior.
Do the fees escalate over time when you keep getting tickets? Do they correct stay at 75?
So they will escalate. They will.
Excellent. No more discussion. Mr. Wheaton, make a motion. Oh, put a motion to the floor. All in favor? No, is there a second?
Yeah,
Mr. Pickens? Mr. Lindley, Ms. Hines?
Aye.
Ms. Hines?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was mute still. Aye.
Excellent. Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. Item 8G, Resolution 2023-007, a public hearing. Public hearing to adopt resolution RES 2023-007, authorizing the use of red light running photo enforcement system at the intersection of Spring Road and Cumberland Boulevard. And authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. This is a public hearing. Anybody like to come forward, speak for or against the issue? All right, seeing none, close the public hearing portion. Pass it to Councilmember Pickens, please.
The background is the same. This just covers the intersection of Spring Road and Cumberland Boulevard.
Okay, cool. I'll make a motion to approve RES 2023-007.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hines. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Item 8H, RFP 23-015, approval to award RFP 23-015, TV, video, clean and CIPP, spot repair, sanitary sewer system to Continental Pipe Services, 850 West Atlanta Road, Marietta, Georgia, 30060. The amount of $250,000 to be funded out of the Water Distribution CIP Fund. Mr. Walsh, you'd like to?
I'd be happy to make a motion to approve item 8H, RFP 23-015 for the cast in place pipe.
Thank you. That's what CIPP stands for. All right. That next. We have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Pickens. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Actually cured in place pipe, so.
Cured in place. Excellent. All right, item 8I, HGR 2023-012, authorization to purchase a 2023 Ford F-250 chassis with 8-foot service bed from Cherokee Truck Equipment in the amount of $75,937 from Wade Ford, 3860 South Cobb Drive, Smyrna, Georgia, 30080, priced using City of Atlanta contract number 10590-WS. Increase this budget in the vehicle replacement fund by $30,937 to cover this expenditure and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Golden. The vehicle was scheduled for replacement in the 2023 adopted budget to the vehicle replacement fund. Initial estimates were we could procure this truck for $45,000. Based on current market conditions, that price has increased to $75,937. Budget amendment is needed for this vehicle, the vehicle replacement fund, to accommodate the increase in price. This truck is used by the maintenance and shop division of Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Do a motion?
Motion to approve item 8I, AGR 2023-12.
Mr. Welch, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Wilkinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Hines? Ms. Hines?
Oh, sorry, this mute situation. Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. Onto the consent agenda. Before we get there, Councilmember Wilkinson would like to discuss an item that's on the consent agenda. Item 90.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Actually, I'm gonna read something, and this is about, my appointment for Keep Smyrna Beautiful for Ward 5. It's on the consent agenda tonight. And on the heels of Black History Month and the beginning of Women's History Month, I would like to take this opportunity to bring attention to and gratitude for a Ward 5 citizen, an African-American woman whom I'm recommending tonight for reappointment as the Ward 5 Keep Smyrna Beautiful board member. Maggie McGarry. Maggie has been serving as a valued member for Keep Smyrna Beautiful for more than 6 years. During her tenure, she has fully committed herself to the KSB board. Her dedication and efforts have helped make Smyrna clean, green, and beautiful. During Maggie's time on the board, KSB has won multiple national and state awards from Keep America Beautiful and Keep Georgia Beautiful foundations. Leadership by all the board members, including Maggie, is essential in achieving those awards. Maggie brings knowledge of technology systems to the board and has dedicated herself to the role of treasurer since 2018. As part of the executive committee, Maggie works tirelessly to support the KSB board in its efforts to protect the environment and inspire the community. Maggie also gives back to the community by volunteering across Atlanta. Maggie volunteers for several other nonprofit groups that to support areas that she's passionate about, including the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, Atlanta Symphony, Georgia Aquarium, and Hands on Atlanta. I knew this about Maggie when I first reached out to her and was afraid she would decline because of all her other commitments. Well, she did not, and she has really committed herself to Keep Smyrna Beautiful. And I'm so proud to have her representing Ward 5. I understand Maggie also serves as a tutor and mentor to high school students. Maggie was recently recognized by the Cobb County Board of Commissioners in October, where she was a recipient of the National Senior Citizen Day Award. I'm very proud to recommend Maggie for reappointment tonight on the Keep Smyrna Beautiful Board, and thankful she is willing to continue serving the citizens of Ward 5 in Smyrna.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Consent agenda, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Gould. Item A, MIN 2023-016. Approval of the February 16th, 2023 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Item B, MIN 2023-017. Approval of the February 20th, 2023 pre-council meeting minutes. Item C, MIN 2023-018. Approval of the February 20th, 2023 mayor and council meeting minutes. Item D, BCA 2023-002. Approval of the reappointment of Ward 5 resident Maggie McGarity to the Keep Smyrna Beautiful Board for a 2-year term through 12/31/2024. Item E, AGR 2023-006. Approval of amendment number 5 to the Community Development Block Grant Plan Year 21 Subrecipient Agreement number CD 21-C21SA-A and CD 21-C21SA-F to extend the termination date for the agreement to July 31st, 2023, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Item F, AGR 2023-007, approval of amendment number 2 to the Community Development Block Grant Plan Year 2022 Subrecipient Agreement number CD 22-C22SA-A and CD 22-C22SA-F to extend the termination date for the agreement to July 31st, 2023, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. And finally, item G, CON 2023-005, approval to amend contract with Rebuilding Together Atlanta Incorporated, 3060 Peachtree Road Northwest, Suite 1810, Atlanta, Georgia, 30305, for administration of the city's CDBG home repair grant. And extend the termination date to May 31st, 2023, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion do pass as presented.
Mr. Wheaton, the second by. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Ward and staff reports. Let's start with our remote friends. Councilmember Hines, do you have anything for us?
I had my first town hall of the year on February 28th, and it was good attendance, and thanks to the staff. And thankful for that. And we will be having a joint one in April.
Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Lindley?
No report this evening.
Ms. Wilkinson?
I want to thank the staff of the city of Smyrna and also Cobb County for their coming to the meeting that was held at Smyrna Road, and also Councilman Tim Gould came, and I think it was a good meeting. The citizens there appreciated it.
Yeah. Mr. Pickens?
No report this evening.
Got a couple quick things. Wanted to give a shout out to the community and the staff for a really outstanding Black History Month dinner celebration we had last week. Really great activity here in this space, and a lot of good comments from people about it. Looking forward to seeing and doing something next year that's comparable to it, and just kind of really love the vibe of the community of the entire event. A couple other things to highlight. This past Thursday night, I got to join the reception for the Nickajack Elementary Foundation, celebrating their fundraising efforts over the last year, where they have dramatically exceeded their campaign goals. Another six-figure year for them in donations for their foundation. So it was awesome to see the community. So Mayor Norton and I went down and kind of had a good time celebrating community engagement with them. Really tremendous goal there. And I don't believe you mentioned this, Mayor Pro Tem, but this weekend over at Campbell Middle.
Oh, that's
The Spartan Fun Run is this
Thank you.
weekend, Saturday from 8 to 11. You can get out there, run around, do obstacle course, get dirty, have some fun.
Yeah.
And support what's going on over at Campbell Middle with their foundation.
So that's another great fundraiser. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Welch?
A couple of things real quick. This Thursday night, I have a public meeting in this room, it's a Magnolia room, at 6:30 to discuss the rezoning in Ward 4. And then we'll open it up to general discussion if anybody has any questions about anything else going on in the city. Also on the 18th, Keith Smyrna Beautiful has their shredding event at the Wolf Center from 9 to noon. It's near and dear to my office at home.
Awesome. The Wolf Center's open now, right?
It is,
Yeah. A lot of happy people.
That's all I have.
Sir. Mr. Bennett? All right. With that, go to citizen input. We have two people signed up. First is Alex Fackery, 3459 Shawnee Trail.
Thank you. I'd like to bring up a topic that I've mentioned before to be reconsidered for this fall's election, and that is term limits. The last referendum we had was on alcohol Sunday sales. Well, I feel this topic has a hell of a lot more credence with term limits. Marietta did it and passed it. And I applaud them for giving the taxpayers and voters a chance to express their opinion on the subject. Additionally, for the first time ever in Congress in Washington, it's on their itinerary for term limits. This has never happened before. So that's very interesting. In fact, Trump mentioned it last week in his speech, term limits for Congress. I know there's people on the council that may not like it, but they have to remember it's the voters and the people that pay the salary that should have a chance to express their opinion on the subject. It only costs $1,000 to put it on the ballot. And I'd like to see this council, and it's to me, open government, to have it on the ballot as a referendum in November. And I don't know where I am with time, but a quick one. The Reed House produced $66,000 last year, plus maintenance, etc. Lowers that. That is, we'll never get our principal back with that low bookings. And I just feel that that money should, 3.8 million should have been put in the bank. You would have done better. And I hope this council stays, quite frankly, out of the real estate business, because to me, the Reed House was way overpriced in the first place. But again, keep this in mind for term limits on the ballot. It shows open government. And I hope you all consider that to be on the ballot as a referendum this fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Packard. Jenny Barty, 4094 Laurel Springs Parkway.
Thank you. All doing well. I'm here tonight to make a suggestion, some new business and new thoughts I had. I wanted to suggest something that I think Smyrna would really benefit from doing, and it would be one of the first cities in the state to introduce on a large scale electric bikes. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's very popular, and I like the idea of riding bikes, but I admit that I don't do it that often myself. It's a lot of work, and it can be a risky endeavor on many streets, especially major ones. But I think you could put your heads together and come up with a plan to make it work and be safe for the community, and it would be an environmentally conscious way to get around Smyrna. Walking is another good way to get moving. That can be more encouraged by having good sidewalks, which Smyrna has a lot of, as well as putting in walking trails. Something else I think Smyrna has done a good job of doing and continues to do. But I think slowing down traffic is low-hanging fruit and is much needed. I understand there are traffic studies that the city is doing, adding more medians to roads like South Cobb Drive, along like there is along much of Atlanta Road would also be a good idea. And narrowing roads by putting in bike lanes would be smart as well. Now on to the bus as a means of public transportation. Where are the new bus stops that were talked about being done? I think that was promised at least a year ago. As I brought it before, it's really bad for residents to be standing next to a sign that denotes a bus stop without having any shelter. Please discuss this and let citizens know when we can expect to see stops with seats and an awning at a minimum. Not everybody drives a car, and many of those who do would love to enjoy the outdoors while commuting and reduce our carbon footprints in the process. This is an election year, and sustainability is sure to play a prominent role. And I will mention that sustainability, I've heard, was referred to as a social project or something in the last election. And I think that was a real shame. So I hope that sustainability, that you're all on board with sustainability. Very important. And, you know, Smyrna should do things to stand out. We used to be a really top of the line city that did things and other cities emulated. And I feel like Smyrna's not doing that as much anymore. So this is an opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Barty. Joe, you want to just comment on the number of bus stops we put in and describe that?
So we are not adding bus shelters, we're just replacing the ones that are existing. I think we replaced, I know 5, possibly 10 with the new design bus shelter that has the excellent glass top, the glass back, to help with the wind and the lights for residents who utilize those services. I'm not sure the county placing the simple poles with the stops, but the bus shelters that we do have, we're in the process now of replacing those, and then the ones we're not replacing, we're upgrading and painting, and then bringing them up to a little better appearance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. I think, you know, there might be people in the public, citizens who would be happy to help with it if you want to turn it over to maybe groups like Smyrna.
Then traffic calming, that's a very important issue for the whole entire council and staff. And I think we've done a good job, and we have another meeting getting scheduled here fairly soon. And plenty of work to do, no doubt about it. But the ideas that you just mentioned, they're getting integrated, I think, often into many of our projects. So we keep pushing forward on that. Let's see. Nobody else signed up for public comment. And with that, at 8:46, 7:46 during the meeting. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.